Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. Now, what have we got today? We have XCP Professional Rust Blocker Clear Coat. Let's get into the video, guys. Cheers. Guys, just before we get into directions, application, preparation of the bike, I just wanted to give you a quick explanation of why I'm actually putting this on in the month of June, because this is normally a winter preparation. Now, I did actually do this September, October last year as part of a protection package for winter preparation. But if you know me and you know my bikes, they're always clean. I don't like them seeing the rain at all. I don't ride in winter, but it is just still that extra protection. It's in a cold garage. So that's basically the reason. However, I went out on a ride to Margate Meltdown, and anyone that was on that will realise that at the end of the day it was Margate Piss Down. I got absolutely saturated, hour and a half in the rain. The bike got absolutely covered. Again, if you know me, if you've seen previous videos, you know I've got health issues. I came back, very, very long day, and I literally parked the bike up and walked away. I was absolutely shattered. Took me a week to recover, then had builders in for the house. So 2 weeks I left the bike and came back to the bike. The bike was in a bit of a mess. I've given the exterior really a really good clean. I've not had these off, so I'll be taking them off and doing this again. The discs themselves have got surface rust on them, but obviously once I start going along, that'll all come off. So this is the reason that I'm reapplying this in June. These cans really got enough for two coats basically, or two goes. So I'll be doing it again in September, October, whatever, but I feel like I've washed a lot of it off. So I'm just taking extra care because that's me with my OCD. So I thought I'd do a video about it. Now, I'd actually came across this product because I'd never heard of it before on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of the motorbike channels, 44 Teeth, Bennetts, Bike World. There's loads of them. And there's actually a guy on Bennetts Social who's fantastic. And he does lots of experiments on everything, whether it be motorcycle clothes, locks, whatever. And it's worth checking that out. And I'll put up a link to this. Basically, with this, he cuts a load of bits of metal off and he tries all these different products. An XCP Professional came out very good. Now, this comes in two different applications. You can either buy it in a can, or you can buy it as a liquid and then use it for a spray gun, which he does say gives better coverage, but I've not got a compressor, I've not got a spray gun. So for, I think this was 15, 16 quid, it's there, done. So have a look at that video because that'll tell you what it's actually doing. That'll explain it miles better than what I can explain it. But I'm just going to go through preparation of the bike, how to use it, what it does, stops rust, and yeah, go from there. Cheers, guys. So I thought I'd just read the back of the application, what exactly XCP Professional claims to be, and yeah, then go from there. So XCP Rust Protector Clear Coat provides an ultra thin clear film finish to provide market leading protection against rust and corrosion. It protects exposed surfaces against moisture, salt spray and other corrosive elements. As a non-conductive liquid, XCP Rust Protector Clear Coat is safe to use on electrical connections. XCP Rust Protector Clear Coat can be sprayed, wiped, brushed or used for dipping. Directions for use. XCP Rust Blocker Clear Coat is designed for use on metal parts and surfaces. Treat the relevant area directly with a uniform coating of XCP Rust Blocker Clear Coat. If necessary, wipe off excess liquid. Allow the product to dry to a soft film. Drying times will vary depending on the thickness of the film applied and environmental conditions. Repeat as necessary. Repeat applications may be required after cleaning or significant abrasion of the treated area. Caution: disconnect any live electrical source before spraying. So now we're going to move on to preparation of the bike, and really we want to try and get this stuff in as many nooks and crannies as possible, and the best way to do that is by taking off panels. Now, saying that, you can actually spray this all over the bike. It's not harmful to anything. In fact, these black plastics and the black rubbers come up an absolute treat with this stuff on there. However, if you spray this on your tyres or on your brakes, you'll be more slippy than grippy. You've got to cover them up because it will contaminate them. It doesn't actually say that on the can anywhere. It's just I've seen it on applications on YouTube videos. Now, what I'd done back in September, October is I took the front wheel off, rear wheel off, had the calipers dangling, just put some sandwich bags over them with some rubber bands. But I'm not going to do that this time. I'm literally just going to cover them up with towels, because I think that's what most people will do. So let's prep the bike. Let's strip. So I've stripped the bike down to really where I want it to be. I'm not going to take it any further than that. That's far enough. I'll probably take the mudguard off so it's easier for me to put towels on. And although, as I said, I'd done a good job cleaning on the outside, it's not until you really start looking on the inside that there's still dirt and muck on there. And there's no point in spraying that rust protectant on there if it's dirty. So I'm probably going to spend next half hour or whatever hour just giving it a really good clean, and then probably come back to it tomorrow and then spray the rust protectant on, because I just want to make sure all of this is off. I probably won't clean the headers because that's a huge amount of work, but I will try and get the engine as clean as possible because I'll be doing it again in September or whatever, ready for winter, and I'll probably take the headers off and give them a good clean up and spray them. So yeah, my cleaning, I mean, you use whatever cleaning products you want, but I really use muck off. I also use a brake and clutch cleaner that's really good for degreasing. So it will pretty much be that. And someone has just told me about the Harpic to use on headers, which does work really, really well. So I'm just going to get it nice and clean underneath. Might just give inside a little tidy up, and then go from there. Cheers. Okay, so we're back for another day. The bike is all now dried off. It's as clean as I want to get it as far as all of the metals are concerned, without removing a lot of stuff like exhaust pipes and stuff like that. So what we now need to do is I've got some old towels, old t-shirts that I've cut up, that I'm going to be protecting the tyres and calipers, front and rear. I've got a rag to apply the XCP protector, and I've also got a brush to apply it as well. Now, most of the time we're going to be spraying it. Now, we want that jet as fine as possible, and obviously we can shake the living daylights out of it. One thing that I've seen a lot of people do especially when you're doing paint spraying and stuff like that, they would use a heat gun or whatever just to warm it up. But I've actually just got a bucket here just with some warm water. I'm going to stick that in there for 5 minutes while I'm covering these up and preparing. Then shake the living daylights out of it and get to work. Cheers, guys. So, got the towels round the tyres. I've put some cable ties around the rear one just so they don't fall off. I've been able to jam them in. XCP is still in the water, so we're going to get that out. I want you to start spraying. Let's get on with it. Now, I've just looked up while I was drying that off and shaking it, and it looks like the rain is going to pour down. Now, obviously, we don't want to apply this in the rain. Ideally, you want to apply it in a vented area as well. So if you're doing it in a garage, make sure you've got doors and stuff open. So you might see me rushing to try and get the thing in, but let's see what I can get on inside, underneath, because it's much easier to see outside. So let's get going. I've got some cardboard so I can lay on. Yeah, let's get going. Let's get you in. It looks beautiful as it goes on. It shines everything. It's just really, really nice. What I'll do is if I go from the shock, let's move it back. Now, just quickly while we're outside, what I'm going to do is just show you, like on a brush with the brush applicator. So where you've got it on the hose, it's very hard to get it all the way around the hose. Now, you're not protecting the hose, but it looks bloody lovely when it's done. So I literally get the brush in and get it all the way to the eye can see. Once you've got this product on the brush, yeah, it just goes and goes. So even like on stuff like this, it just comes up lovely. And I'm going to actually leave it for a couple of days and then take the excess off and we come back to it. But it just looks so nice. It's almost like part of the cleaning process, which is like, it just brings up the plastics and the blacks and hoses, just so nice. And even here where I've not been able to get up, I just sort of like go over it and get it in now. Get in now. Make sure the whole thing's through. And I'm normally spray the whole bike and then go at it with the brush, but I'm only doing this because it looks like it's going to pour down. So, right, let's get on with spraying. You can even put it on the frame. You can put it anywhere you want. Oh, wind's blowing up, we're getting a gust up. Sorry, really tight spot because I had the camera up the top. Now, I've just noticed because the film goes everywhere, so just I'm quite tight up against the wall here. Right, let's let's do this side. So you can see I'm just literally spraying it everywhere. Now I'm spraying the plastics as well, the black plastics. It's obviously not going to rust. All underneath is clean. Inside here is a little bit dusty, but I will be doing those. But it just brings them up fantastic. So I'm going to do that because I've got loads left. These black plastics come up an absolute treat. Ideally you don't want it on your grips because you'll have to clean your grips. I've made a bit of an error. Ideally you cover these, but again I will clean those as well. I won't spray it on my wing mirrors, but I'll use basically the trick of, ouch, taking it from here, because it's nice if this sets in. It's almost like a back to black, and then paint this stuff on here, and again let that go in and then take off the residual in a couple of days. Some people might just want to do this within a day, so I kind of had the time. Why am I moving that? I kind of had the time, so I'm now just going to literally go around it with a paintbrush. Anything that I've not sprayed, that I can't see that I've sprayed, I will spray again. And also what I'm going to do the airbox, take the airbox off, spray all the carburetors, spray all in there, pretty much anywhere I can get to, because as we say, it's not harmful. Stuff that I can't sort of like get the residual off of later, I'm not that worried about, because they'll be in areas that you won't be able to see, and it will dry off in time. So I'm spraying this close so it doesn't go everywhere, so I can then use the brush to get it on the castle nut and underneath. I've got grease on it. Doesn't matter, because that grease will actually come off when you dry the stuff off. Won't dry the grease in. Now it's literally just started spitting, so I need to get covers off and get the bike in before it pours down, because I don't know what it's like with water on it, and it's literally started dripping now. So let's get me cutters. let's get her in the garage. Okay, so the British weather being what it is, it's actually just spitting outside. It's not tipping down, but I've had to bring the bike in. I've gone round the bike with me brush, basically brushing the XCP in. Anything that I could see that wasn't sprayed, I would spray. Now, this is a little bit over the top. This is literally just making plastics look nice, and the back plastics and inside here look nice. That's just me. You don't need to do this, but this stuff is actually really, really good. Now, because I'm inside and I can't have my back, I can't have the garage open, I can only have the side door open, I don't want to spray the stuff in here. So what I'm going to do, just quickly go outside, I'm going to spray some stuff on here because it can be brushed on, and I'm just basically going to brush this stuff on. When I take the airbox off, what I might do is I might spray it and run out. So yeah, let's go from there. So as you can see, the stuff is like a yellowy film, and all I'm going to do is just brush this in on the top of the airbox. I'm sad like that. I don't know why I do it. I like taking when I take the tank off, I like having all the engine bay all looking nice. Same with the car kind of thing, clean inside. I don't know, I'm just weird like that, or just whatever you want to call it. So while this stuff's out, I know this stuff is absolutely brilliant. Now it is very tacky to touch when you haven't wiped it off. So what I'm going to do, just to show you quickly, so I've basically brushed that on. Now just going to go over it with a cloth. I would normally leave it on for longer, but you can see it just brings up the plastics absolutely lovely, and all of the hoses as well. So I literally, once it's on the cloth, I use the cloth as well to go over the hoses, because I also go on the inside of the hoses because I'm a nutcase. So we'll take this off, we'll do the other bit of the box, and we'll get to the carburetors. Let's do that. Now, as you can see, I'm actually taking this off. This is all going to be cleaned. And I've also taken off the front ram air pipes to the carbs. Now, the reason I've done that is so I can get to the tops of the caps and just paint them, because I'm mad, maybe, I'm not quite sure. But also I've put some paper down because I'm going to spray this in a minute. I'm going to spray the head and literally run out the room. Maybe I don't need to paint these because I can literally just spray everything. Spray all down here. I've cleaned up as best as I can in here. There's a bit of, not dirt, I don't know what it is, basically like a little bit burnt on, not rust, corrosion, whatever you want to call it. Down there, I'm going to spray all down here, all on the hoses. Now, one thing I will say is, if you are in a rush and you want to basically get the bike done and get out, whatever you spray, you must make sure you try and wipe off or is dried. Because as I say, it is very, very tacky. And what will happen is the dust will stick to it. So, like where I've done underneath my wheel arches, if I go out with that all being tacky, dust will basically set to it. So, just be aware of that. I'm literally going to be leaving the bike for at least a week before I do anything more. So, I'm going to literally spray. I'm then going to run out up to the house and leave it for a bit. And then come back. I am also going to be doing the back, these plastics all inside here, but I'll probably do them with a brush. I don't think I'll spray them. So right, let's do this. You might get covered, sorry, and then I'm running. I'm going to hold my breath. It's all right because I've got one door open. I'm getting a little bit of air in here. I'm just going to put some spray down or back this way. If I tilt the camera like so, I'm literally just putting some in there just so I can brush it in easier. Obviously can't get to the other side at the moment. Might try and get round. Right, run. Okay, so I've left that for a good half hour of settling in. And while that's settled in, I've actually come down by the side, removed my water bottle, cleaned all of that up, all inside the engine, like the side of the engine casings. They come up absolutely fantastic. I'm literally now just going over the rubbers with a rag just to dry them off, because they're still, even like all of these plastics, it's still a little bit tacky, so it will still need to dry off. The sun's actually come out. Might whiz the bike out and try and get a bit of sun on it so it can dry off, but I'm not that worried. And literally just brush in where I can. I kind of use this as part of my cleaning routine. I love being able to take something off and seeing everything clean. It makes the job easier, I find, and it's just the way that I am. You might not be that way inclined. One thing I did realise that I made a mistake on before spraying all inside, it does say take off your electrics, which I didn't do. So I'm going to leave that for the moment. I say leave that for the moment. I'm going to leave it on now because it's done. And I'm just going over all of these black plastics. Again, it's just black plastics, but it just brings them up nicer when I take my seat off or whatever. Everything just looks all nice and clean underneath. It's just how I like it. You don't have to do that. You can just spray the metal bits. So I've done all of that spraying and all the pre-work on Friday, and I've left it the weekend, and we're back on Monday. Got myself a coffee. We've got lovely bright sun outside. Going to wheel the bike out. I'm going to go over with a cloth just some last bits that I maybe have missed, and then we're going to bring you in and you can see how fantastic this stuff actually brings up your plastics, and that we've obviously got the rust blocker protectant on there. Fantastic. Cheers, guys.
I wonder if God got a plan for everyone. I wonder if I could take a second run. 'Cause I carry on getting sad and getting stuck. What I wouldn't give for a life that doesn't suck. I'm a moving target. I never finish what I've started. I'm a moving target. But if I stop moving, then I'll have to face myself.
So guys, first of all, let me apologise. I'm not sure how this is going to come out in the edit. I was going through my footage last night and realised that after I'd wiped the bike down, took all the residue off, that I'd done some video footage of the left-hand side and right-hand side underneath the engine and that. and I'd done it in 2 parts, and the first part I actually cocked up. I actually took a picture rather than taking a video. So this is why there's now panels back on, tanks back on. Fortunately, I haven't got to take all the tank off and everything, but I just wanted to show you how the bikes come out. Now, I know this is a little strange because at the end of the day, we're doing a video on XCP professional rust blocker, so working on metal. Now, this is really just to show that this product can actually be sprayed anywhere, and it's not harmful to anything. It actually brings up your plastics fantastic, and you're also getting a really good rust protection. So you can use it as part of your, I don't know, 6-monthly full-on clean. I mean, I think I've said quite a few times in this video, this has turned it into an absolute mammoth clean, which I haven't really given this bike for quite a while because I normally don't go out in rain. But you're also getting, as I say, all the protectant on there. So if I do get caught out in the rain, I know that really just being able to wash it off, making sure that everything's nice and protected. As I say, in the winter time, I will probably remove all the headers and be able to get to the engine block better. Even just the side casings and the plastic bottle just look absolutely fantastic. Got a nice blazing sun today. So there we go. Yeah, let's carry on with the video. Cheers. Carbs come up lovely. Cylinder head, all nice. Obviously I try to get in there with a rag as much as I can. These black plastics come up an absolute treat. I even put the cloth over this, just as much inside there. Got the wing mirrors. Indicators, just get my knee pad. Even just you can see the side of the radiator. As I say, didn't give the headers a massive clean. In the winter I'll take them off and then we'll spray. Inside there, tie and chain cover. They again just come up absolutely fantastic. All the side of the frame's been done. Just think it looks, well, it's ended up being a big cleaning process for me, but it's nice to get some rust protectant on, because what I'll also be doing, if this has turned into a massive clean, you don't have to do that. You can just spray and then just take off the excess. But again, all of this all been done, all this side, and right, got my air box. See, the air box looks fantastic. Rather sad. Now, why does that look so sexy? I don't know. Now, this has turned into a full-on clean now, which I wasn't gonna, but literally on the insides of this, there's all dirt inside and inside the bearings. So I'm literally gonna put the tank on, I'm gonna start her up, and run it up just to get some heat and dry the rest of the stuff off. And while that's happening, I'm just going to clean the insides. So yeah, full on clean it turned into. So I've just started the bike up, and this is what it's doing. The stuff that I couldn't reach to, don't know whether you can see that, it's just basically blowing off the smoke, steaming it off. So yeah, just be aware of that. You might want to do that before you go out for a ride. You might think that you're on fire or something, but you're not. You're just burning off the excess. Also, before you put your brackets and bolts on, if you want to, just the cloth that I've used that's it's got the product on there, you can just wipe over, get some clean, but plus also puts a little bit of product on there as well. Now I think we've had enough diversions on this video, seeing that we started off with a rust protector, and that's really what we was doing. But now this has turned into a full on clean. You don't need to see this now. When I'm cleaning on the insides, I'm now putting stuff back and then just putting a coat of auto glue on the outside. So I'm going to clean the insides of the fairings. I'm going to get everything back and we'll have a final chat. Cheers guys. So we are finished. The XCP Professional Rust Blocker Clear Coat video, all nicely and done. Now, what I would say, as I said at the beginning of the video, have a look at the Bennetts video about these rust blockers, because from that information, this has obviously been a big process, and as I've said many times in this video, this has turned into a massive clean. However, from that video, you're going to make a decision on whether you think it's worth stripping your bike down and putting this stuff on there. With the information that I've been given, that I've collected, I honestly think it's worth it. And as you've noticed, I've turned it into part of my cleaning process, whether that's an annual one or every 6 months. Now, obviously, it is a rust blocker. I'm not really riding my bike in the winters or in the rain. However, saying that, I am caught in the rain sometimes. Plus also, this garage does get exceptionally cold, and there are certain spots on here that have started rusting, which I'm obviously trying to prolong as much as possible and try and protect the bike as much. At the end of the day, this bike's a 20-year-old bike, and if I got a brand new bike, I'd be pulling the bike apart straight away, spraying this all over, and again using it part of my cleaning process. Now, one thing that it doesn't say in here, and it's trying to get a how do I describe it? Right, so when you spray it on, it says then wipe off the residue. How much of that residue do you wipe off? Now, on all of these plastics, and on these casts, I'm wiping off till they're dry. And the reason that I'm doing that is because if you don't wipe off all of the residue, it's still sticky. And from the last experience that I had, after I took the bike out, after a couple of days, literally I had dust all over them, and I had to clean them off. So that's why I've made sure that they're dry. Now, if you're doing that on the engine and all of the stuff that you're trying to protect from rust, i.e. what it's actually designed for, are you still then protecting it? I'm unsure, because it doesn't actually say that. So I've still left some kind of residue on the stuff that I really want protected, per se. So yeah, it's just something minor that springs to mind, because how much do you wipe it down? Like, I sprayed all of this, but I've wiped all this down because I don't want it tacky next to me. But the bike has come up absolutely amazing. It shocked me the first time. It's shocked me again. I know I've polished all of this lot, but the overall, because of all of the rubbers and everything, it just looks new. It just looks absolutely fantastic. I'm chuffed to bits with it. Love it. Think it's a great product, and I'll be doing that for quite some time. Remember, guys, what I always say, I am not a professional nut fiddler. Although we've not done any fiddling of nuts really in this, we've just done a little bit more of jizz action really in this. Now, if you're not comfortable taking off fairings and stuff like that, take it to a professional nut fiddler, pay them some money, and they'll happily jizz all over your engine, probably. I'm sure there's a word for that. Most of all, these bikes are your responsibility. Make sure you are checking your nuts. And thanks ever so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Is that what the guys say nowadays? And yeah, we will see you in the next video. Cheers. All the best.